guys, welcome to the third episode of Advice You Didn't Ask For. I'm your co-host, Hannah Diensenbach.
And I'm Ella Steers, your other co-host.
Thank you guys for tuning in again. We appreciate your support of our new podcast. If you're listening for the first time, we're grateful to have you here.
For those of you who might be first-time watchers, we will do a quick introduction of our podcast before jumping into the first submission.
Advice You Didn't Ask For is a podcast focused around giving advice to students at all levels.
Students from various schools send in anonymous submissions, and we give them our thought-out advice.
Even if you don't go to our school, you can still send us a submission. Please email us at adviceyouldidn'taskfor1@gmail.com.
For today's episode, we're talking about classrooms to campuses, choosing the right path for college success. We discuss how to transition from high school to college and how to take the right classes in high school so that you are prepared for your future. Hannah's going to kick things off with the first submission.
Okay, for the first story is more like a question. What are some important dorm room items for college?
Okay, we have a list from college kids that we've asked, and these are some basic needs. We have mattress topper, comforter, and 2 sheets, laundry bag, white container organizer for under bed, over door hooks, school supplies, shower caddy, robe, and shower shoes.
I feel like the 2 sheets was important because they mentioned like that you don't want to like have no sheets when you're washing your one pair. So if you get 2 pairs of cheap sheets, it's like easier to switch.
Mm-hmm.
And then for the laundry bag, they recommended like a bag that you could like carry like a backpack. So then you're not like dragging your bag throughout the hallway.
Yeah, that'd be really nice because especially if you're going up and down stairs, depending on that, that'd be really difficult.
Yeah, or like a roller bag. But Jordan was telling me this. She got a roller bag, but then the wheel broke. So then her bag didn't work anymore. So maybe the backpack is like the best option. And then just, yeah, some people like forget it's like school. So you need your basic school supplies like scissors, pens, paper, folders, and stuff like that.
Yeah, and then the shower stuff, just a shower caddy. Obviously, that's going to make everything so much easier because you don't want to carry your shampoos, your conditioners, your soap, all that just in your hands. Just bring a shower caddy. It's going to be so much easier.
And then the next like section is like necessities. So medicine, thermometers, plastic plates, bowls, silverware, cups, a long jacket, an umbrella, a fan, a new like backpack, a toolkit, surge protector, extension cords, laundry detergent pods, Tide pens, first aid kit, and cleaning supplies.
I would say, especially medicine, just bring the basic medicine so you don't have to go out and buy that. Like at the beginning of the semester, just because your parents are going to be buying stuff for you, just ask them for that so then you don't have to pay extra for that, especially on campus.
Yeah, and I feel like a lot of people forget like that you need like the ibuprofen, the Advil, all that stuff because you just are used to your parents having it. And then I think it's important to have a good, nice jacket, a good winter jacket, especially if you're going to college in Wisconsin, because it gets really cold and you're going to be walking more than you ever have.
Yeah, exactly.
And then I feel like a lot of people say they just usually forget an umbrella because you're used to just having it in your car, but now it's just not there. So.
And then the laundry detergent pods, because you don't want to be measuring out detergents. Just it's so much easier just to throw a Tide pod in.
And that goes along right with the Tide pens because you're going to be like staining your clothes and stuff. And you're like, oh, you don't have anyone to get the stain out. So just having a little Tide pen that just gets that out right away.
Yeah. And if you don't know how to use that, ask your parents before you go off to college.
Yeah. And getting the basic cleaning supplies because now it's your first time having to clean your own stuff. And you might have your own bathroom. So you're going to need to clean your bathroom. So if you have a bathroom, make sure you bring the toilet paper and all that kind of stuff too.
That's good. For decor, we have full-length mirror, whiteboard calendar, jewelry organizer, collapsible hangers, desktop organizer, big makeup mirror, lamp with warm lighting, and then a wallflower, which is like a Bath & Body Works scent thing that you plug into the wall.
These are more like girly things, but I feel like all these types of organizers is just going to help your room stay more clean and it looks like more aesthetically pleasing like you want it to.
And keep it smelling good too.
Yeah, the wallflower scent thing was from another friend that sent in because you can't have candles and you can't have that type of stuff. So it keeps your room smelling good.
Yeah.
And then they recommended a lamp with warm lighting because the dorm lighting is really bad. So you don't want to like hurt your eyes with all the fluorescent lighting all the time.
And then like the desktop organizer, collapsible hangers, that just keeps you organized, which is exactly what you need, especially in college. Like this is your first time ever being off on your own. You're going to want to stay as organized as you can.
And then like for the full length mirror, like some dorm rooms come with it already in your closet, but if you don't have one, make sure you have that because you're just used to having mirrors.
Yeah, you need to make sure you look good.
And then for stuff you probably already have, but you want to make sure you're packing all your hair stuff, your makeup, a nail kit, like fingernail clippers and all that kind of stuff, your teeth care, your skin care, and then make sure you get a mini fridge or microwave, but sometimes that can already be provided for you in the dorm. So you make sure you have that before you check with your dorm before you bring that. And then a portable charger. Make sure you get a good water bottle. And then an air purifier is important.
And especially to go along with the good water bottle, also a water purifier too. Just keep that in your dorm, because you need to make sure you're staying hydrated.
Yeah. So I just feel like making sure you pack everything that you already have.
Yeah.
Your day-to-day stuff and bringing that to college.
Yeah. And then for fun ideas, we have a baking pan, Beats headphones, computer, and sports and like hobby materials. These are pretty important just so you stay you. Like, you're not just going to leave everything behind. You're still going to have things that bring you comfort if you're feeling stressed.
And I think a good way to make like new friends, if you have like a spike ball net and you like bring it out to the yard, you can like collect people to go play spike ball, or like get a volleyball to play some beach volleyball.
Or baking. That's always really fun.
Yeah, like you want to bake some brownies or cookies.
Yeah.
Because most dorm room in like the common area have like an oven, so you can use that to bake stuff. So yeah, we'll probably talk more about this once we actually go off to college, and then like we can talk more about like what we needed after like our freshman year. So yeah, so let's move on to the next submission.
Okay, the second one is how to score good on AP exams and ACT. I don't know how or what to do to study because you don't know what's going to be on those tests.
I feel like those types of tests are definitely the hardest ones to study for.
Yeah.
Because you don't know exactly what's on it. You can't just like review the material. So you have to go through some of the... So we also created a little list here of different studying tips that we got from different sources.
Yeah, I would say we're not as familiar with AP, so because we don't have those at our school, but for the ACT, they have books, and as stupid and as boring as that might sound, those will help you get better. So there's a bunch of practice questions, and I'd recommend that if you really want a good score. I mean, it's not the most fun, but it's going to help you.
And then usually there's a teacher at your school that like is in charge of all the ACT stuff, and they also have practice tests and different like links online and stuff in a bunch of different ways.
Yeah, and they're going to be happy to help you.
Yeah. For some like studying tips we have here is teach your coursework to someone else. The best way I think to studying, like you've mastered the skill if you can teach it back to someone else, a family member, a friend, a group of people, your little sibling. Anything can help if you like pretend like you're the teacher and teaching it to all of them.
Yeah, and find fun ways to do that. Like if you want to like get a whiteboard and like be an actual teacher and show someone, then it's way more fun that way. And this is more for like AP. You can't really teach someone ACT stuff. Also, if you have questions, you can put those into ChatGPT and then ask them for more questions, and then it will give you, it'll ask you more questions to make sure you're actually solid on the topic.
Yeah, because most like reviews for tests and stuff have like practice questions. So if you're like, oh, I want more of this type of question, ChatGPT can spit them out and then you can work through them. And they usually have the answer there for you too. Another tip is have an organized schedule to have time to study, because you do not want to just be cramming in all your studying the night before. So you have an organized schedule throughout the week to make sure you're planning out periods of study that you can have just a couple, I don't know, like 30 minutes a day or so to study for your tests.
Yeah, you don't need that much, especially if you're spacing it out throughout the week. You're only going to need 30 minutes because if that 30 minutes adds up, and it's better than just cramming everything into 1 hour.
Because then you also don't like get like your brain, like what is it, like your brain doesn't get tired and stuff. Like it's not like you burn out, that you're not most likely not going to get burnt out then if you space out your studying.
Yeah, exactly. And to go along with that, if you are studying every day of the week, you're going to figure out questions that you have, and then you can go to the teachers and ask for help with those, and then you'll have a more solid understanding of that topic because you are asking questions.
Yeah, I feel like the teachers before the test are usually really nice about helping you with all your questions.
Yeah.
Like, especially if you don't ask the day of the test, that like is not good. So make sure you're asking like the week before, maybe scheduling time with them to meet like one-on-one if you want more questions. And then another one I heard from one of my friends in college is study until you're sick of the material. Like you've been studying so much that you're just sick of it and you don't want to hear it anymore. That's how you know it's built into your brain.
Yeah, I think that's a really good suggestion.
So yeah, I think again, once we go to college, we'll know more about studying because right now high school is a little different than college studying. So I feel like that's going to be a big like jump for everyone to take. So
I agree with that.
So I'll move on to the next reading. Okay, for the third submission, I'm going to a college very close to home, and I don't know whether to move out and get an apartment or stay living with my parents. I want to get out on my own and have my own responsibilities, but I also think that it's expensive. What do you think?
So personally for me, I'm going through that exact same thing right now, but I've thought about the cost and how expensive it is to be like living on your own with utility, electricity, all that. And for me, I'm staying at home because I just think it's more financially responsible to do that. But there's also a lot of benefits of living by yourself. So we've made a list for that. Okay, so for cost, if you're living with your parents, you're still gonna have to pay for gas, but you're not gonna have to be paying for like electricity, utilities, any sort of that thing. You'll pay for food sometimes, like you could always pack a lunch for college, but you're really not gonna have to be paying for that much. But as if you were living on your own, you'd be paying for gas, electricity, internet, food, and water, and you'd have less money for the future. So it depends on what your future goals are. If you want to save up money, then I'd recommend living with your parents because that's going to help you so much more. If you're living on your own, it's going to be quite the struggle.
Because it's just more time spending with your parents. So it's like all those basic things that you take for granted now.
Mm-hmm.
You're just going to have it for like, and usually assuming this person is staying at a 2-year college.
Yeah, that's
so it's
what
just
I was
going to be like
guessing.
another 2 years staying at home.
Yeah.
So I feel like all those things can add up,
Mm-hmm.
and you can use that to buy an apartment in the future
Yeah.
for when you leave.
Yeah, and going along with that, if you do live with your parents, they're gonna help you. They're gonna support you so much throughout college, which is such a new experience for everyone. And especially if you are like an anxious person or change is hard for you, that's such a great idea because you're gonna have that support that's been with you all throughout your life.
Yeah, and I feel like, but on the other hand, living by yourself gets you a lot more opportunities
Mm-hmm.
to make your own decisions. Because if you stay at home, your parents could be like, well, you still have a curfew.
Yeah.
And you can't have this person over. So, like, if you do get an apartment on your own, that also gives you the freedom.
Yeah, because you're gonna become a way more independent person. You're not gonna have all these rules to follow. You're gonna have to make your own rules. But also thinking about that, if you're making your own rules, can you make good decisions on your own? Because you're transitioning from high school to college, and high school you had rules, college you have none. Is that gonna be good going from 100 to 0?
Yeah, so you have to make sure, like, do you know if you're already ready to be, like, a disciplined person? Because
Yeah.
everything is now your own choice, your own responsibility. So just make sure that you're ready for that, because now all the choices are up to you.
Yeah, because it's a lot going from having to be financially responsible and take your education responsibly. So yeah.
So I would make, like, a pros and cons list maybe, and, like, the pros of staying at home, and then the pros of getting an apartment, and then the cons to both, and that can also
Yeah.
help narrow down. I know I was doing that when I was, like, making college decisions, so I feel like that's really helpful to, like, put it on paper so you can really see a difference.
That's a good idea.
So yeah, should we move on to the final submission?
The last submission is, I want to transfer to this school a few hours away because they have a bunch more class options, AP classes, honor classes, and more clubs. How do I convince my overprotective parents to let me go?
I feel like you have to first figure out if this is something your parents can even do. Do they have jobs nearby, or are their jobs kind of far away? Is their job something online? Because 2 hours away is pretty far.
Yeah, that is pretty
So
far.
it's not just going to be a simple up and move, or like right down the street. Like, you really have to think about this.
Mhm.
And so the first idea would be, like, if your parents have jobs that, like, need to stay where they are, maybe you can do that online.
Yeah, exactly. There's a lot of online options all over the country. So it wouldn't be that hard to go online, and also it would be a lot cheaper than moving, changing your whole life. Like, that's a lot of change if you do choose to go to a different school.
And also maybe you could stay at the school you are now and see if there's AP online classes, because I know that's a lot of offers. And then maybe also if you want some more clubs, you can also create clubs at your own school.
Yeah.
Maybe find friends or people that are also interested in what you are, and present to the school board, maybe having a new club.
Yeah, you can also like reach out to like other schools, ask your school counselor, just be like, I'm interested in blah, blah, blah. Is there somewhere around the area that I can go to pursue this interest?
But if your parents, like, are willing to go, but they're, like, a little overprotective, maybe you can, like, create, like, a slideshow presentation.
Mm-hmm.
I knew when I was younger and I wanted, like, a pet bunny, I made this whole slideshow presentation. So maybe, like, a cute slideshow presentation with, like, pros and cons, the reasons why you want to go, all the benefits, how it'll help your future, and, like, present that to your parents maybe.
Yeah, I think that's a good idea.
So I feel like you just really have to have a good conversation with them and, like, talk to them about what you're feeling. Because if you want to move, I feel like maybe you should talk to them.
Yeah. Especially as a high school student, like, that's a pretty big responsibility that you're the reason your family's moving and, like, changing their lives. So definitely consider that.
Thank you so much for tuning in to the 3rd episode of Advice You Didn't Ask For.
I hope you can take some of this advice with you as you grow up and head off to college.
Remember that the transition will be scary, but it gives you a new opportunity to grow.
And make sure you are doing the right things in high school to best set yourself up for the future.
If you have more questions or want us to cover specific topics, feel free to submit it to our Gmail at adviceyouDidn'tAskFor1@gmail.com. We also send out anonymous forms frequently.
We are hoping to post the podcast every 2 weeks, so I can't wait to see you then.
We haven't decided the topic for the next episode because of the abundance of submissions, but we look forward to answering all your questions soon.
Please like and subscribe if you enjoyed this video and want to see more content from us.
Have a wonderful rest of your day. And reminder, advice only works if you use it. So we'll catch you next episode.
Bye! And if they need help with that pros and cons list, DM me because I will help them. Not appropriate. So smart.
And the teleprompter is not moving.
Hi. I agree.
There are no dumb questions on advice you didn't ask for.
Only dumb people, which is you.
You, Keller. True. That's true. It's to hook the viewers. Oh. Is that you? Okay. I lost it.
I'm sick. Do you notice he's purposely coughing into the microphone? He's like Keller. I can't hear that. Thanks.
I was talking. Stop it.
Yeah, Cooper, hit me up. Okay. So yeah.
Oh, that means you have a voicemail. That just means you have a voicemail.
Oh.
It's still playing. Swipe on it.
No. My phone keeps buzzing.